AITAH for banning my son from all social media and his phone for using Looksrater to rate girls in his class. Story 1. Our schools had a bit of a rough time with AI apps recently. They're running through schools in the UK. One of the biggest offenders is Looksrater. It's a website where you can upload pictures of yourself or others, and you get an AI-calculated rating back. There's multiple articles about Looksrater's impact alone on our schools. It really has taken off like wildfire here. Our advice. Banning your son from social media and his phone for using Looksrater to rate girls in his class was the right move. The consequences of his actions were severe, as the app was being used for bullying and causing distress among his peers. It's crucial to address this behavior firmly to emphasize the seriousness of the situation and to prevent any future incidents. Your son needs to understand the impact of his actions on others, especially regarding privacy and respect. By imposing such consequences, you're not only teaching him about responsibility but also sending a clear message about the importance of empathy and ethical behavior, particularly in the digital age where technology can easily be misused. Your husband's concerns about the length of the punishment are valid, and it's essential to have a conversation as parents to ensure that the punishment is fair and effective. However, it's also important to stay firm in your decision to uphold consequences that reflect the severity of the situation and the need for your son to learn from his mistake. Additionally, use this as an opportunity to have open and honest conversations with your son about appropriate online behavior, consent, and the implications of technology on society. Encourage him to reflect on his actions and to consider how he can contribute positively to his peer group and community in the future. I found my son using the website. He thought it was funny and didn't think much of it. But then we got an email from the school saying kids were using it to bully and were ranking all the girls in their classes with the app sharing the lists around without their consent. Girls apparently went home crying after being laughed at or having their low ratings shared in year group chats. I checked his account's history and sure enough there were girls in his class uploaded. He says he never shared them around and was just curious. I'm not sure I believe him or that matters. He still uploaded and rated these girls without their permission. He's livid and says he's going to fall behind socially with no phone until the end of the school year, but I don't care. This is extremely serious, especially when I consider the risk of other awful services like deepfakes in the future. I want to ensure my son understands it's not okay to do things like this. My husband is obviously upset with my son too, but he also thinks that holding the phone until the end of the school year, about 2.5 months, is excessive, especially considering how reliant young people are now on their phones to socialize. He also believes our son wasn't sharing the pictures, and while wrong, didn't know any better. First comment. NTA. There wasn't such deepfakes when I was still in school and at this age. But I was rated, I was insulted, and after all these years I can still assure that it left some marks and damages on me. Your husband might not understand that it's not simply bad behavior but also sexism. And if not tackled, sexism doesn't just go away, it intensifies. It's tackling sexism and teaching about consent. Because then, that's why we have men who think this kind of behavior is okay. He needs to have consequences, and these seem appropriate for now. Maybe you might reconsider if he truly understands why it's not okay and behaves well and lower the punishment. But I don't think I would budge. Also, I am shocked by the number of AITAH. This is not an okay behavior just because many do it too. It never was an okay behavior and has nothing to do with being kids. Plenty of kids do not act this way. Let's not normalize objectification at such a young age. Second comment. I would have him do research by reading books and articles on the female experience, as well as interview the girls in his school impacted badly by this stunt, and write an essay on his findings. This would turn this into a learning opportunity. It might help him understand why what he participated in was so harmful and develop some much-needed empathy. Have him detail what strategies he should use to become an advocate and stand up against misogyny. All the boys in that school should be required to do this. Have conversations with him all along the way on his findings and engage in meaningful dialogue to see how he feels and what he thinks about his findings. See if he's surprised, shocked, angry, and embarrassed that he participated in any way, and discuss how beneficial it is to challenge one's perspective and hold themselves accountable. Every quality page that he writes earns him a week off of his punishment of losing his phone. The paper should take him at least 2 weeks, if not more, to write no/copy-paste BS. It must be in his voice. He can use the time off from his phone to really learn and have the opportunity to grow and change while earning back his phone privileges. Edited to add ... make dad participate in this, as he needs this experience too. Good job, mom. Nice shiny spine. NTA. Story 2. AITAH for cheating on my husband? Over 6 months ago, my 36F husband, 37M, asked for an open relationship after 14 years together. I didn't like the idea, and it turned out he had already started an affair with his coworker. I tried to at least set some boundaries around what this open relationship would look like, but he violated everyone. He then decided we would have a don't ask, don't tell open relationship. 2 months ago, he told me he wanted to divorce me for this other woman. We're still cohabiting for the time being, and have yet to file for divorce for practical reasons, though I have fully accepted it is happening. We had been doing so amicably until last week. Shortly after my husband told me he wanted a divorce, I met someone unexpectedly. It's progressed into something romantic only within the past couple of weeks, and nothing physical has happened yet, nor will anytime soon. I assumed my husband suspected something, but since we were separated and he was with someone else, I wasn't about to bring it up. I was on the phone with this person, behind a locked door in my bedroom, when my husband barged in to ask about dinner. It was early afternoon, and he already had dinner plans with our daughter. He must have been standing outside the door, because he overheard some of the admittedly spicy conversation on the phone. He was furious with me, and has mostly been giving me the silent treatment since. He was upset that I was having such a conversation while he and our daughter were in the house, though he's done the same with his girlfriend, that I had moved on so fast, etc. I was really shocked by this. Not only did I think he already at least suspected, and had seemed fine with it, but doesn't want me anymore, so why is he upset that someone else does? He is behaving as if, and seems to believe, on some level, that I'm cheating on him. I've never seen him so upset, and I feel very bad. Have I done something wrong? Is he right to be so upset? AITAH, TL Drive, my soon-to-be ex-husband is upset that I'm already moving on, as we are still legally married, but I've had permission to see other people for over 6 months. This was also his third that I know of affair. I have never cheated until now. Our advice. In this complex situation, it's important to first recognize that emotions can run high, especially in the context of a crumbling relationship. However, it seems like there's a lot of miscommunication and conflicting expectations. Your husband initiated the idea of an open relationship, which you reluctantly agreed to with certain boundaries. However, he violated those boundaries and even opted for a don't ask, don't tell policy, which suggests a lack of transparency and trust. Now, your husband's reaction to your potential romantic interest indicates a double standard. While he pursued affairs openly, he seems upset that you're moving on. It's understandable for him to feel hurt or surprised, but given the circumstances, his reaction appears hypocritical. As for your actions, it's essential to reflect on your intentions and whether you've been transparent with your husband about your feelings and desires. While technically still married, you both have been living separate lives emotionally. However, keeping lines of communication open, especially regarding significant developments like moving on, can prevent misunderstandings and unnecessary conflicts. Ultimately, the question of whether you're in the wrong is subjective and depends on your individual values and the agreements within your relationship. However, it's crucial to prioritize your own emotional well-being and respect your own boundaries and desires. If the relationship has reached a point where trust and respect are severely compromised, it may be time to prioritize your own happiness and consider the next steps, whether that involves divorce or further attempts at reconciliation. First comment. He doesn't care, at least not about you. He only cares about his ego. The moment he asked for divorce, your relationship was over, and since you had an open relationship, there's no such thing as cheating, at least not on your side. He has what he asked for. The only problem is that you're not crying on the floor, asking for him to stay. Why are you still worried about what a cheating, deceiving person thinks of you? He doesn't deserve not even that. He can't ask for respect if he is not respecting. If possible, ask him to leave already. No need to be dealing with a man-child while the divorce is in process. NTA. I think you are too kind, but you shouldn't, not in this case. Second comment. The NTA, and don't let him turn this on you. Funny, okay, not funny story. My ex-husband had affairs I found out about, so I started divorce proceedings. Leaned on someone at work, and one thing almost lead to another, no sex, but emotional affair for sure, and my ex took that to give him permission to be an angry and indignant asshole who fought me on everything, dragging our divorce out for almost 3 years and ensuring only the lawyers won. Upon reflection, I believe he was looking for a way to absolve his guilt, and zeroing in on my behavior, although bad but not the cause of our issues, really fueled him. I tried to placate, I apologized, and finally I found a bulldog lawyer and fought back hard to end things, and why I am sharing this with you is so you can learn from my mistakes. You have done nothing wrong, don't act as if you have, and certainly don't let him twist it into something it is not. Sounds like getting the divorce as quickly and painlessly as possible is a good step to help you move forward in your life. Wishing you the best.